Okay, ladies and gentlemen, these are the solutions to the problem of the week from March 8th. This is the vector quiz. Um, so let's just hop right to it. Let's do question 1. Okay, so we're going to find the magnitude of the vector 312. Now remember, magnitude is length. Okay, so let's call this vector v for something to call it. Okay, if we're going to find the magnitude of vector v, we're going to use the formula of a squared plus b squared, and then take the square root. So we're going to go 3 squared plus 12 squared, which is 9 plus 144, which is the square root of 153. And if I simplify that, I get 3 square root 17. Okay, that's number 1. Okay, so the second one is find the direction angle in standard position measured in degrees of this particular vector. Okay, so now remember that you have to know where your vector lives. So if you need to draw it, okay, so this particular vector will live, let's see, 3 up 5. So that's the vector we're looking at. Okay, so it lives in quadrant 2. So since we're going to use the calculator with this, we got to make sure that the calculator is actually giving us an angle between 90 and 180. And it won't. We have to adjust it. So we're going to use the formula tangent inverse, or excuse me, tangent theta is b over a. And then we're going to use the tangent inverse to find our angle. Okay, I'm just going to use my calculator. Make sure my calculator is in degrees. Okay, so my calculator gives me a negative 59.04 degrees with rounding. Okay, so that's not in standard position. What that is it's this. Okay, I don't want that. I want this angle right here. So what do I do to adjust it? I'm going to add 180. So my true direction angle is 120.96 with rounding. And with the answers, I'm going to round it up to 121. Okay? All right, so that's number 1 and number 2. Okay, number 3. I want to simplify the vector multiplied by the scalar of 5. So that's negative 15 comma 10. Okay, that's it. Number 4, what is the effect on a scalar of negative 1 on the magnitude of a given vector? So multiplying by a scalar of negative 1 has no effect on the magnitude. but does affect direction. Okay, so no effect on the magnitude, has an effect on the direction. Okay, number 5. Okay, what is the effect of a scalar of 1/4 on the magnitude? It will shorten the magnitude. Okay, all right. Whoops. Number 6. Again, we're simplifying. So let's see, 3 times a negative 3 is a negative 9. 3 times a 6 is an 18. 1/2 times a negative 4 is a negative 2. 1/2 times a 6 is a 3. Now we're going to add, and we're going to get negative 11, comma 21. And that's it. All right, number 7. Write the following as a linear combination. Okay, to write something as a linear combination, you need to know the identity vector I, which is 1, 0, and j, which is 0, 1. So basically, if I were to write a vector, negative 10, negative 5, take your x or your horizontal component and multiply it by vi. Take your vertical component and then multiply it by the vector j. And that's it. Okay? Seems a little weird to do that, but there are purposes for it. Number 8. Given the information below, write the vector in component form. So we have the vector n is equal to 15 magnitude, and theta is 135 degrees. We're going to use the formula. Magnitude times cosine of theta, comma, magnitude sine of theta. And you can totally use your calculator or the unit circle on this. So this is going to be 15. Cosine of 135 is negative radical 2 over 2. And then sine is going to be positive radical 2 over 2. So if I rewrite that, and that's it. Okay, last one, number 9. Okay, so we have a magnitude of V is 10 and an angle of 30 degrees. And then we have a vector U with a magnitude of 12 and then a theta of 135 degrees. Okay, and then we need to find U plus V in component form. Okay, so first thing I got to do is I got to get these two guys in component form themselves. So again, we're going to use the same formula that we did for number 8. So it's going to be 10 cosine of 30, 10 sine of 30, which will be 10 times radical 3 over 2, 10 times 1/2. Okay, and then for U, 12, 135, 12 sine 135. And I will be honest with you, when I did this one for the answer key, I completely messed it up. So if you make mistakes, that's why you can resubmit your problems of the week. Don't think that you can't. I'll just update the grade. Okay? Everybody makes mistakes. Even math teachers. And now we're going to add those. So we get the vector 5 radical 3 plus 6 radical 2, because I can't really add those. And then 5 plus radical 2, 5 plus 6 radical 2. Oh wait, I messed up. See? This guy right here should be a negative. So, hold on. And voila. See, I messed up on the sign. Okay. All right. So hopefully that was helpful to you, and have a great week.